Coming up next, put your hands together for Kris Izzi.
Yes! Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much, Louisville. You guys were awesome. You guys were so welcoming. But when I first got here, Craig thought I was a homeless guy looking for a cigarette. You guys were way better. I'm gonna just tell you guys, I'm an adoptive dad. Yes! And some of you guys are like, oh, are you Tommy's dad? And I'm like, no. We got one of the good ones. I'm just making fun of him. Like, whole time he was up here, I was so proud, and I was just thinking to myself, if I invest my time and energy that much into my daughter, she too can be up there telling dick jokes. It's like when dreams come true. Yeah. It's interesting when you decide to become an adoptive parent. It's a whole different process than having one naturally. When you become an adoptive parent, you will get bombarded with the most inappropriate questions. Like we would tell people, like, we decided to adopt. They go, oh, why? We need someone to break the tie and where to go to eat. Like, what do you think? Like, people will be like, oh my gosh, what happened? Like, that's so inappropriate. So I started doing, any time that somebody made a pregnancy announcement, I just did it right back. Like my sister was just like, we're gonna have a baby. I went, oh, why? What happened? Did something go wrong? And she was like, Dirty Dancing was on. We'd have a bottle of Fireball and no condoms. It's the natural process for it. Man, I started messing with my friends too. We'd be like at a bar and we're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna adopt. And they go, hey, do you want to foster? Nah, I prefer domestic. And I'd be like, oh, you're gonna adopt? How much does that cost? Like, why? Do you know somewhere they're selling them cheaper? Like, are they selling them for $1 at Costco? Like, oh, this is just inappropriate. And when you ever, like, decide to adopt, you have to give references to these people. For my wife, no problem. For me, well, y'all met my friends tonight. You imagine them calling Madison up? She'd be like, yeah, Jefferson County Department of Corrections. Oh, Chris, yeah, he escaped from here last week. We're looking for him too. How's he doing? And then they're like, we want to know about your family. And I'm like, everybody? It doesn't matter what your job is, man. When you start talking about your family to people, your job becomes landscaping. And you take that family tree and go, your family tree looks like this. That is all they are getting. You know it's bad when you start talking about your family and it sounds like an autobiography of the Addams family. It gets weird. Gets weird. My daughter, she is Indian. She is Indian. She is so beautiful too. She is so beautiful. It's weird though, she's Indian and she hates Indian food. Like, how does that happen? She'll be like, this is spicy. And I'm like, baby, that's mayonnaise. We got a ways to go. I don't know all the things that I should know as a dad. They'll be like, oh, what sign was your daughter born under? And I'm like, pretty sure a hospital sign. Like, I'm pretty sure it said Norton on it. Just saying. She is smart, man. She is tough. Whatever she is gonna do, she is gonna be a boss girl. I am convinced of it. Like last month, we got her enrolled in basketball. We got her enrolled in basketball, and she looked at me, she said, Dad, I want to wear a dress to basketball. And I'm like, baby, they don't wear dresses at basketball. She looked me right in the eyes and went, yet. Y'all are laughing, man. You just give it a couple years. This is what you're going to hear. You're going to give it up for your Louisville Cardinals. Wearing their away evening gowns. This year they are wearing Vera Vang. That's what she's wearing this year. I had one of my dad freak out moments. She did. She's only 6. My daughter came up to me and goes, Dad, I'm going to marry a Power Ranger. And I'm like, how are you going to marry the only first responder without health insurance? Like, you could have just done a little bit better. She just rolls her eyes at me. Kids say inappropriate things. Didn't know if you knew that. Didn't know about that. My daughter's favorite show is called Miraculous Ladybug. If you don't know what that show is, it's pretty much, it's a girl version of Batman. You know, it's a girl, she wears a ladybug outfit. It's called Miraculous Ladybug. And her sidekick is a guy in a black cat outfit called Cat Noir. It's pretty cool. The only problem is my daughter is 6, and she cannot pronounce Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. So the other day, we were in the grocery store, just walking through the aisles, and she goes, Daddy, buy me Lucky Charms. And I'm like, no, baby, we're not doing that. Just play, relax. We're just going to grab this and go. So she's over there going, I'm gonna be Ladybug. And she goes, ha, hoo, ha, ha, ha. And in the middle of Walmart, yelled, no, go get him, black guy. Oh. And I just looked over at Dirty 4.5 and just went, she's calling you in, man. It's morphin' time. Oh. Now, I will admit this, it is kind of awkward sometimes parenting a child that does not look like you, parenting a child of color. It can be kind of awkward. Like, my wife gets mad at me because I will not discipline my daughter in public. It just doesn't look right. Like, she remember that she's 6 years old. Y'all have seen that, right? With like the mom carrying the kid over their shoulder to the car. Louisville. Y'all saw my wife doing that, you'd be like, oh, that's fine, I get it. Y'all saw me? Someone's calling the cops. Like, that's just gonna happen. Like, even if it would happen to my wife, they'd be like, oh, obviously, you know, she's her mom, she's got photos of her on her phone. They call the cops, they'll be like, I swear to God, I'm her dad. Like, I swear to God. They'll be like, look at these photos on my phone. They'll be like, suspect has obviously been following this child for a while. I'm like, no, I'm her dad, I can prove it, ask me anything. And they go, oh yeah? What sign was she born under? Take me to jail, I'm sorry. That was Kris Izzi, guys. You guys have been great. Give it up for Greg.
Kris Izzi, everybody. He's an adoptive dad. Give it up for Kris.